Good morning and welcome back to Jodi Lewis Creations. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for joining me. Today is July 6th, I want to say. Let's check it out. Yes, it is. Thursday, July 6th. Just for reference, I just like to share with you so you can know, like, when you're watching this video, how far ahead I filmed, or maybe not, depending. I spent some time in here yesterday morning. Sorry, that was probably loud. I spent some time in here yesterday morning, or yesterday, whatever, and I was filming, but I have to be perfectly honest, I hurt my back. If you've been following me for very long, you know I have a back issue. Anyway, so finishing stripping the wallpaper in the other room, I hurt myself. My back just doesn't really like ladders. Anyway, so I had taken some medication for my back, and I was a little silly, to say the least. So I actually have to sit and listen to those and make sure that they're appropriate to share with you. So if they are, you'll see them and give me grace for being silly. If not, you won't see them. Okay, so we are in our hashtag Crafty Christmas in July 2023 project. And thank you again to Teri at Sweet Pea Papers for hosting, as well as Lisa at Lisa's Paper, Lace, and Bling. Make sure you go over to Teri's Facebook page because she is doing a giveaway this month, and she has a video explaining all the different ways you can win. And Lisa is having a sale in her Etsy that if you spend $15 or more, you get 1 yard of lace free with your order, and if it's $35 or more, you get free shipping. And if you do go over to Lisa's Etsy and make a purchase, please make sure you tell her that I sent you, because she's also doing something for the collaborators that whoever sends her, ooh, where'd that go? Whoever sends her the most people wins a prize. I'm not overly hopeful that I'll win, just because I'm a lot smaller than some of the other channels that are participating. However, not the smallest, so that's a positive, I suppose. And so hopefully everybody will grow during this collaboration, because there's a lot of really fun things I'm seeing from the other creators and what they're doing. It's really interesting, all the different ideas and perspectives and stuff like that. This is a napkin this is the napkin that was in Lisa's goodie bag. So if you watch the unboxing, you will have seen that. And this is a water brush, but I don't keep water in it because, to be perfectly honest, I don't like this water brush. I got it, I don't remember if it was at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but I find it tremendously difficult to squeeze, and I don't have that kind of hand strength anymore. So I still use it kind of just like I'm using it now, and I just have my water sprayer open and I'm dipping in it. But anyway, I just find it tremendously difficult to squeeze. I don't like it. It was a package of, I want to say 3, and certainly not something I would recommend as a product for someone who has sore hands or arthritic hands. It's just too hard. The plastic's too hard. You know, I guess the alternative to that would be, it would be too easy to squeeze, and maybe get too much water out of it, but I don't know. That's my personal opinion, and I don't have a brand, but I'm pretty sure I got these at Michael's. I'm almost certain I got them at Michael's, but I don't know what brand they are. Okay, so now I have the 2 halves, and because this has these cardinals, and I'm probably going to put this other half of this napkin in with my cardinal and poinsettia that I'm collecting for, and I may just take that part of the napkin out, and then this will be left in my Christmas stuff for another napkin. I'm not sure, because I don't know that my cardinal journal is going to be Christmas specific, but I just love the cardinals. And the cardinal journal will have some chickadees as well, but I don't think I want Santa in it, so we'll see. But anyway, all right, so we have this half, and it is definitely more than one ply here, which actually, if you're gonna fussy cut your napkins or whatever, it's easier to leave the second ply on. It just makes them a little more sturdy to fussy cut or whatever, in my opinion. I mean, of course, do what speaks to you. If you are looking for Christmas napkins, please make sure you go check out my Etsy. I have quite a collection of Christmas napkins, and I believe I have some that I don't even have listed on there because I kind of have a thing for napkins. All right, so we talked about in the unboxing what I was planning on doing with this, and so to start with, I'm just gonna get this glued to, I think I'm gonna just do some music paper because because that's gonna be really busy as a background. So I just have my bin here, so I know that if I use this stuff, it's specifically from Lisa. Anyway, just, you know, because you guys needed to know that. So let's see what I want to do here. You know what I think I'm going to do? I just changed gears right in the middle of talking to you. Oh, Chloe, you're crazy. Did you hear the cat? I just finished telling Mark she's not terrorizing me, and there she is doing burn-offs running down the hallway. She's wanting me to play. We play hide and seek. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that on. This is painter's paper. So just a roll of it. I think I got it at Harbor Freight or Home Depot. I don't know. But what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna use my matte medium. I don't want to use Mod Podge. I mean, Mod Podge and I, we just are not friends, you guys. I know that people say, oh, you can like finish it with cornstarch to take the sticky out. What are you doing? You're crazy. Go on. She's under my table over there to probably pop out and try to scare me, which she does about every day. Okay, anyway, the Mod Podge finish is sticky, and I've heard that you can finish it with like cornstarch and that'll take the sticky off of it, but I don't know. Okay, so what I'm kind of doing here, and yes, I'm fussing with it, is I want to make sure I've got room on either side, so that way if I decide to, because obviously this is too wide for our page, but I think I can do it like a tip out, or even a bag that kind of flips out. We'll see, or a pocket, I mean. So I do want to be really careful with my glue and not get too far outside the lines of the napkin. And if I weren't worried about keeping this birch edge, and maybe I won't, and I'll just take that off, and that'll soften the edges of this where it will kind of disappear into the background. So what I'm gonna do is just go back around. Sorry, I've had coffee and I've been in here for a little bit, just aimlessly moving paper around and trying to get a plan. I did create, after I finished my crazy filming yesterday, I did work on a few pages, and or a couple pages really, and just kind of trying to work and get a plan, because you know, by the time we add pockets and make all the ephemera, it really, I mean, making a journal is a lot of work. I don't think people realize it. And then when you see, you know, like the pricing and stuff, it's really hard to, careful. See, I just flicked that. And once you get your napkin wet, it's really, really fragile. So do be mindful and try to be careful. It flicked off my brush. But anyway, yeah, pricing them is really difficult because, you know, you have your time involved, and it's not really something that you get paid for. I mean, we do it for the love of the creations, and, you know, I do have some journals in my Etsy for sale, and they haven't sold, and that's okay. And I have a couple more that I haven't listed because I'm like, I don't really know how to price them. Like my fairy journal, I was gonna sell that, even though I do love it. And the Hortensia journal, I was gonna list that for sale, but I don't have any idea how to price them. I mean, I'll never get paid for my time, that's for sure. So I am curious, you know, it's kind of like a hush-hush. People don't share like how they come up with their pricing, or I don't know, maybe I just haven't looked in the right places for that to know. because my shelf is getting quite full. And I just want to keep the ones, you know, that I totally love. And so funny because last year's Christmas in July project actually was one I had intended to keep for myself. Used all the things that I had been hoarding for myself, and I made a comment once about selling it, and boy, I got an email almost right away that somebody wanted it, which was an amazing surprise to me. I was so grateful. But it was funny because that was the stuff I had been keeping for myself. All right, I didn't really mean to blab through that whole process. I mean, but I did. Okay. Okay, so the thing with this painter's paper is that it is really light, so it's not sturdy enough to be a page by itself. And you will have seen that. Did I paint this in last year's Christmas video? Was that it? Is that where I used it? But anyway, this is just matte medium, and I want to use, I'm just gonna use my little silicone thing. Anyway, so it has to be stabilized with something. It's just not strong enough on its own to be a page. And I know that. So if you're playing with the painter's paper, just know, unless you just want like a flimsy page in your book, but it's not going to be strong enough to hold any kind of ephemera by itself. I'm shaky from my coffee. Oh, I have a big blob there. Let's get that moved. I'm just trying to evenly coat this. And if we do get out on the edges here, it's probably okay because I can trim it out with something and hide that glue. Now, once you put this down, now your napkin becomes wet. So again, once the napkin is wet, it is really, really fragile and you can tear it quite easily. So you just want to gently work that down. And, you know, if you've been watching me for any time, you know I have a small obsession with napkins. I use them a lot, but they just give you such an amazing base to work with, and you can do so many fun things with them. And so I just really enjoy the artistry of the napkin, you know, and then you just make it your own by doing something else with it or turning it into something else. But they're beautiful over book pages or music pages, your like flashcards and stuff, which I've done. I did that with the little golden books that year that I actually did the little golden books all at Christmas. So, and I like to try to work from the middle out to try to not, sometimes I don't mind if there's big bubbles, but with this image I'm really trying to keep the bubbles to a minimum. So I'll just continue this and get the whole thing done, and then I'm going to go over the top with the matte medium and set it aside to dry. Okay, so it's all glued and still very wet. I haven't set it aside to dry, but I went over it with the matte medium, and like I could see in Santa's beard and stuff, like if you watch your color, you'll be able to see if you didn't quite get your glue all the way over it, and it depends on what you want to do. I've even taken just a glue stick under it and not gone on the top of the napkin, but it depends on what you want to do with it. And again, as soon as your napkin's wet, it's very fragile. So when you're putting the top layer of glue on, you want to be real gentle with your brush or whatever you're using, because you can tear it. But I love how that's just so subdued, and it's going to be really fun, I think, to come back in with some paint or paint markers and the glacier paste and just really bring this image to life with that. So I'm going to set this aside to dry. In the meantime, let me set it where I won't touch it here. That needs to go back on the floor. Oh, okay. So in the meantime, I had already done this when I was drinking my coffee. This is a piece of tissue paper that's absolutely beautiful. It's all red foil. And I took my glue stick to this bag, okay? And I just glued it on. You guys didn't need to watch me just with a glue stick. So what I want to do is tear this. If all goes according to plan, we'll see. But I just want to tear that I didn't glue all the way to the side edges. I did glue to the top edge, but that was kind of a whoopsie. It was an afterthought to not go all the way to the edges. So I don't know if that really constitutes a whoopsie or not, but all right. And I should just be able to pick these edges off where, oh, it's fine. I'll get them. We'll get it cleaned up. Ooh, did I hit you? You guys are plugged in, so sorry. I probably just hit the cord. It's not tearing like where I want it to tear. It's all right. It'll just come through and we'll get it cleaned up. Let me try it this way. No. Nope. Okay. We're going to embellish this a little bit. Hot mess. And because of the foil, I don't know if the paintbrush will work. Oh. Well, that side tore a lot better. That's good. All right. I can't get a hold of it. It's all right. I'll cut it. We're just gonna cut that. I'll get that cleaned up. Hang on. Do I have this little doohickey? It's on the back side of a book plate I'm using. And I thought I might just miter those top and bottom corners and have it flip out at this page, and then I can embellish the back. And the bag is just going to be a tuck spot, just a tuck spot. Okay, so I got it done. Once I got a hold of it, I was able to get it torn off, and then I just took the part that I tore off and did it along the top here. And the tissue paper is very, very similar to like a napkin. It's very fragile once it gets, sorry, I know that's loud, once it gets wet. So what we're gonna do with this is I'm going to attach it to this flap. I'm going to attach it to this flap as a flip out, embellish this, and then I'll come back and show you because Mark's working in the attic and there's no way I can film right now. So I'll just finish this and then come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, super fast, in between him cutting boards. I've got this glued to my flap, but remember, if you glue, you want to leave a gap because you don't want to impede your fold. You want it to be able to lay flat, get your fold flat, all that. So I do have it in here. I have plenty of room for my seam here, or my hinge here. And we'll embellish, you know, this page somehow as well. I just don't know what I'm gonna do yet. But this, you know, is gonna be a top tuck here. And then we're going to embellish this. I'm gonna collage it. I have this Artie Mays freebie that I thought about using. I also have this from the Line Dot Arrow kit, which is really, really pretty. But I think I'm gonna go down and look at my the other digitals and see if there's something that's portrait versus landscape so that I can get the full height. And I may use this as a background because actually I think it, you know, I am gonna use this because then we'll just decorate. Hi guys, this is the next day, and I haven't gotten very far because I haven't really been able to be in here very much. So I did get this adhered, and I've got this trim on the side, and this is a book page image, and just have it backed with some music. And I'm not done here. I want to put some more on this to embellish it a little bit. I pulled a tab here because I thought, you know, you got to have something that says, hey, interact with me, right? And so I was working on a piece for this, and I had this Santa image, and he's so beautiful and he would have fit, but then I found this piece of sari that actually matches him perfectly. And anyway, so he's gonna go somewhere else. I mean, we might even, no, that's not gonna work there. Oh, actually that could work there because that color complements. Hang on. Hadn't thought my way through this before I started talking. Okay, so that tells me we're gonna put a belly band here. So let me make myself a little sticky note because it literally just occurred to me when I was talking to you. And so then, even though this color is such a vibrant red and this is a very muted, almost like a mauve or rose color, I think it'll be really pretty poked out because it matches this paler Kaler. Oh my gosh. Paper from Line Dot Arrow. So, somewhere I have a pen. You guys know I have a bunch of pens, right? So we're going to do a side tuck here. Okay, and then he'll just peek out. So then we'll know that. I'll come back to that. I just am working on a piece right now and want to kind of finish with my thought that I'm doing on the piece I'm working on right now. So this is, I told you guys I had printed some Artie Mae's freebies. And so I thought, well, this is going to be cute on a page as a tuck. And then this will flip out. You could journal here. This I'm going to do. I know I have some square dies. So I'm actually going to cut a frame to actually frame this. I want to ink this really well and then stitch around it. But the point of the frame, oh, I could just cut that out, cut this out, and then cut an actual frame. But I want to put a piece of like vellum or acetate in there and then use one of these really sweet images. Probably I'll use the poinsettia. It has nothing to do with the page. Oh, well, what started it was I was going to put it on here as a pocket, kind of like as a floating pocket with the back. You could journal on it and then put this down in that bag was my plan. So having said that, I think I may use her. I like her. She's not Santa though. So I'm gonna stick with the poinsettias. Okay, stick with the poinsettias because as of not filming yesterday, I think I've decided I'm gonna kind of go with a Santa theme with this. So what I mean by using my dies is, where are my square ones? Somewhere. Here's my square ones. We'll just see what size we have. I have 2 sets of squares, which is kind of nice. So I should be able to do, look at that. That's a perfect fit. That is an absolutely perfect fit. So that will cut out the middle, I think. And then this one is a little bit of a different size. So let's just be sure. Yeah, that's gonna be too big. But if I use that with the next size up, then I could probably build a little frame that I'm wanting, and I just want to do it out of brown. And it doesn't need to be big, but you know what I'm afraid of? Okay, I have to think about this because I truly just started blabbing and started brainstorming. Do you guys yell at me to get my stuff together before I start filming? I'm like, oh my gosh. I keep saying, you know, I just go with it as I'm creating, and then I just get reminded of how much people are like, I hate it when a person is not organized. But I just changed directions. I worked it out. So I was able to use the 2 sizes that I was trying and got this little square cut. So that's gonna go over my little hole right there, and I think it's gonna be so cute. And then I went and cut a piece of acetate. So what I want to do with this acetate is go ahead and glue it on the back side of this. I actually could trim that down a little bit. I just kind of cut a 2-inch strip for this window, but I don't want that to be like where I'm going to be stitching over it. So hopefully the art glitter glue will hold this. I don't work with acetate like this very much, and so yeah, I wanted to do something new, and I don't want that glue to like squish out either. I mean, I guess it'll be okay because it's like, yeah, that's gonna hold. That's gonna be fine, right? Like I said, hopefully that art glitter glue holds. Okay, so I just put a small around there, and then now we have a window. Yes, I'm doing this right. I'm second guessing myself again. And then I don't know if it's gonna come through. Can you see the texture in that frame? I think that's so cute how it did that. And so I'm gonna line this up in such a way that covers that paper. And I should have inked that, but it didn't occur to me until just now, and too late. So let's see. Okay, so the napkin is totally dry. Oh, on the sorry, I'm trying to glue this and it's fiddly in my hands. The napkin is totally dry. And so what I think I'm going to do is just work on painting it like with my paint markers. But I don't want to do, I'm not going to do that on film. Just because it's going to take me some time to sit and feather it out. Or maybe if I do film any of it, I'll just do it on fast forward, because that's something I'll probably do like to music or something. And whatever. But I didn't. Okay, I think it's gonna be fine. Like, I can see the white under there, but I think it's gonna be okay. I don't even know why I'm trying to move that, because I used art glitter glue. I was gonna use the poinsettia, but that's like too big of an image on there, so I bet that's like to be on the front or embellish, and she's too big too. So what I wanted to do is, I'll look in my ephemera holders. Oh, this is of course the wrong one. Of course it's the wrong one. Hang on. I had to go in the other room. I will be glad when I get that other room done and can have my stuff all in one room. But Mark says it's not gonna matter because I'm gonna overflow anyway. I'm like, well, that's not a very nice attitude. He goes, honey, just, you know, that's true. And I'm like, okay, fine. I try to stay in one room, but it's hard. It's so hard. All right, let's see. I kind of like this little Canada stamp that's Christmas with the Christmas tree. So that's not really gonna work. And we have Santa, and he's not really gonna work because he's too small. So wonder what I did with, I have a graphics fairy printable of some Christmas stamps, and I think it's on the table in the guest room with the rest of the Christmas stuff. So I will go look and see. Well, that might be kind of cute. No, I'll go see what I have in there and see what's big enough. I just want an image that I can like have as the focal point on this. Oh, that would be cute if I didn't have to cut into that picture. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't even filming. I'm over here talking and I wasn't even filming. Oh, I put glue on that. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. I was talking and I thought I was filming and I put glue on it, and so I will just talk through what I did because, you know how it is with me. Okay, so I had this image, and it is a graphics fairy image. It was these postage stamps, and I love these. They're so much fun. And I found this Santa, and his little face kind of fit in there nicely, I think. And I was saying, you know, I didn't want to totally cover that holly, but I have these die cuts I made a couple years ago, and those might be kind of fun to use on there. So now we have Santa in there. I do have a little bit of excess here I want to cut. Because I don't need that bulk, you know, and you're not going to see it, so why leave it? So just where I didn't glue, I just put a little bit of glue, you could probably see, just around that acetate, far enough out that I knew it wasn't going to squish into my window itself, because you don't want to see the glue, we want to see the picture. One thing I wish I would have done was gold gilded this before I actually glued it down, but, you know, too late. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ink around the whole thing. I'm going to stitch around this. So this is gonna be a flap open. This will be able to put to a page. So this will be a tuck here, but then this will flap open. Okay, so it'll be kind of an interactive piece. I'm gonna embellish it a little bit more. Let me zoom back out just a little bit. Sorry if that was like way too close for you. But I want to embellish it a little more. I'm thinking we need to definitely do something on here, but I just don't know what yet. Maybe a little bit of music and maybe a a small collage on the front of that, but I don't want to do anything on the inside, and the reason is because I want that as a space that could be journaled on. So I need to reinforce this pocket piece, you know, because if we're going to use that as a tuck, I want that reinforced. And I'll just take, you know, scrap paper. I took the trash out already. I'll just take, you know, a piece of scrap paper along the top here, a piece of scrap paper down the edge here, and just do it with my glue stick. That's going to stabilize that. And then I'll get this decorated, and of course you'll see it finished. Maybe I'll just get it decorated, and then I'll come back and show you the final piece. Okay. I know I'm chasing squirrels, guys. I apologize, but I do love this piece, and it actually wasn't going to work for what I was trying to use it for. So, you know, we just have to go with it when we're creating, right? You cannot be so stuck in your box, or I cannot be so stuck in my box that I can't derail. And if you've been watching me anytime at all, you know I derail all the time. So you will see the other pieces finished as the project goes along, but I'm not going to sit here and not go with something that says, hey, play with me, because now I have this piece that I absolutely love. It's so cute. And it's stitched. Oh, and I didn't do this because I was going to tell you. See how my stitching, you can see like the white for where it pokes through the paper. My glue is still wet on my poinsettia. Oh, and I have a little bit of gold tulle behind my poinsettia just for a little bit of shimmer. But I want to be really careful because my glue is still wet. But you can just take your bone folder and go over. And then if you're like, oh, I can still see it, I don't like it, just do your little brush and just gently go over that. And what that's going to do is kind of make that more obscure. You're not going to see the white as much. So hopefully you can see it does. I mean, it doesn't completely disappear, but for the most part, it diminishes the appearance of it. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And then the back here, I do have it tucked, and I did figure out, I think that what Andrea had intended this to be is like a pocket, you know, to put a tag in with a flip or something. I don't know, but I kind of like how I'm using it. And you know, it's whatever speaks to you and what you want to do. And I know I don't have all my white space dealt with. I don't know exactly how I'm going to deal with all of it yet. I figure I'll just kind of do it as I come to the pages. But I am going to paper clip this to the edge, and I'm not gluing it because number one, I have to deal with the white space. Number two is I want to come along and sew trim down the edges, at least of the digitals, or add tabs or lace or something to the edge of those digitals, because I think it'll just give us a lot more texture and dimension to the book, and I am loving it. So I'm going to continue to work on this page, maybe not right now, because I do still need, oh, that was what I was doing. Do you see how far off I am? I was supposed to be working on wherever I put it, the tag to go in this bag, but I need to do something with the side tuck. So we just have a lot of work to do in this journal still. I mean, it's a big journal with a lot of pages, and I'm not going to embellish every single page. I want to leave room for whoever decides they want to have this journal, because it is going to be available. I just haven't said that yet. And it is going to be more of a Santa theme, kind of a rustic, but with Santas, and I'm kind of gathering and collecting and seeing what I have. It is kind of changing directions, but, oh, that's why I have an extra paper clip. But that is kind of where I'm going with it. So hopefully you're enjoying the process. I absolutely appreciate all of the wonderful comments that you guys are leaving me. It's so much fun to have so much interaction in the comments. I cannot express to you my gratitude, how much I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And for all my new subscribers, thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying this. You don't think I'm a total nut job. I'm not a total nut job, but let's be honest, I have my moments. I feel like Hammy off of, oh, was that movie called The Nut Job? But I feel like Hammy today. I'm all over the place. Kids movies. I love kids movies. Anyway, I'm either watching a kids movie or a murder show. I don't watch much in between, unless I'm with Mark. But anyway, that's like totally neither here nor there. Okay, so I am liking where we're going with this. I like the piece I just made, and it may get moved, but I don't think so. I like it there. And yeah, we're just gonna keep working on this. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.